Hi, welcome back to me and Mon Ami and to another one of our portable power station reviews. But this one is quite exciting because I think finally we have discovered a portable power station that recharges our CITROEN AMI and fits in the luggage compartment on the passenger side. So thanks to AllPowers who have sent us this beast, and as ever I always say this thing that whilst they've sent us the product, they haven't told us what to say, and they certainly haven't had approval of the video. And as usual with these portable power station reviews, what I've been doing is using this thing in Elton over the last month, so that what I'm going to tell you today is not based on a quick unpacking, it's based on actual use. Anyway, let's first take a look what's in the box. Well, we've got a little AllPowers pochette with our wires that you can plug this into the mains, and of course plug it into solar if you are off grid. And also what you get with this is a nice little cover case. So if you want to cover your portable power station, if it's going to live inside your CITROEN AMI and you're a little bit worried about the old water ingress, which does occur occasionally, though it's never happened to us, then you may want to use that. But let's take a look at the beast itself. Now, the first thing you'll notice, if I can get it out, is that it is nothing like as heavy as some of the ones we looked at in the early days. You may remember right back we looked at the wonderful Bluetti AC200 Max, but boy was that a beast. It could barely fit in the car, and you had to get well, you had to get a JCB to move it around the house. This 14.5 kilos. If I move out from behind this seat, not tumble over, you'll see I can actually hold it with one hand. It's not super light, but it's not going to break your back moving it around. So 14.5 kilos is the first plus. Let's take a look at what you've got on it. Well, first thing to say is something I very much appreciate, which is that when you turn this thing on in sunlight outside, you can actually see the dials. So you can see on this dial very clearly, we took this down to 5% the other day when we were filming our video up in Payon. And we got stuck with a roadblock, and there was no charger in the village. We 100% use this and we charge at the car. But as I say, the great thing is in bright sunlight you can actually read the dial, and I cannot tell you how many of these power stations I've come across where you simply cannot see it in the outdoors. Now a lot of them, this included, also have a Bluetooth app. So you can put the app on your phone. Yes, you can see what the charge is on the phone, but it is Bluetooth. You have to be in range of the thing. And call me old-fashioned, I like to just press a button, have a look on the screen, and see how much power I've got. In this case, just 5%. What have you got also on the front? Well, you've got 4, in our case, European sockets. If you were buying this thing in Britain or the United States, of course, it will come with the regional socket. So you can plug anything in here from a CITROEN AMI through to a kettle, an electric barbecue, power tools. It really will take very powerful stuff, because basically it has a 2000 watt output constant, and this is the crucial bit, it has a 4000 watt surge protection. Now, if you haven't got over about 2000 surge protection, when you plug in your CITROEN AMI into this, it will simply go pop. When I say go pop, you will be able to mend it, it'll trip. It's got a sort of internal fuse and it will trip, but it will be no use to you to charge a car. So if you are trying to charge something as big as the AMI, you need a surge protection of really in excess of 2000, because usually when we plug the AMI into this, we get to about 1973. In fact, I think I'll probably drop a bit of B-roll on this video from the Payon trip, and you'll see when we use it just how much the draw was. So those are your 4 crucial bits for the car, and for electric barbecues, and for powering your tent, or if you were buying this for home use in case of a power outage, then you can obviously run your computer, your fridge, your air conditioning from any of these sockets. You've also got, as usual, a couple of USB-C power delivery sockets. I think I'm right in saying that Type 1 and Type 2, yeah, they're both USB-C. These are USB-A, you've got 4 of those. And there is your Bluetooth button in order to connect it to your phone. You've also got a DC 12 volt car cigarette lighter socket, and you've also got this XT60 socket here, which basically enables you to take your solar cabling, plug that into there, and these go into your solar panels. And amazingly, you can, using AllPowers' vast solar panels that they have, you can actually add 500 watts of solar power. So yeah, if you've got that solar plugged in and the AC, you can charge this thing up if you've got, you know, following wind and some bright sun in 1.6 hours. However, if you're just plugging this into your AC socket at home, it'll take you 4 hours. So it's not quite as quick as I think the Oukitel we looked at, but the Oukitel, of course, was too big to fit into the luggage compartment of the car, and Mr. Boo's legs couldn't stretch out fully. What this doesn't have, and to be honest I don't really miss it, is it doesn't have a charger on top. Some of them have a thing where you just put your phone on top. I have to say, I found myself not greatly using that, so that does not bother me. The other thing that you need to know about this is, and I think this is quite important, and again this is based on having used a lot of these things and trialed a lot of them, is it doesn't need a power brick. There is nothing worse than you get this thing, you want to charge it up, and then you have to lug around with you, especially in the AMI, which is tiny, a big power brick that you've then to plug in, and then you find, oh, I've forgotten the power brick and we can't charge up. This simply has a wire, goes in here, plugs into the socket, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and away you go. Now, in terms of how much extra range this will give you, we found that it gives us about 11 to 12 kilometers. So it's about seven miles. Now, you're probably thinking, 7 miles, it's really not worth it. Well, in all honesty, if you're just driving around town, doing the same drive every time and you're coming back home, I don't think you do need it, unless you're someone who suffers from severe range anxiety and this just makes you feel a lot more secure. And boy, does it. I can't stress that enough, it does. However, if you are somebody who is making the same drive every day, but is very conscious that when you get to the other end, you've always got to find a charger before you can set off back, then this may be the answer, because it may be all you need is another 10 or 11 kilometers to get you home. Now, that's exactly what happened to us with Payon. We knew it was a village where we didn't have any chargers. We would have had to stop for a charge on the way home. We would have had to find a charge. It was a tumultuous day of road closures, restaurant closures, and God knows what. Everything was going wrong. And to just be able to plug this in, not depend on a public charger and get back home was an absolute boon. And it was very interesting that at the point at which I drained this battery or taken it down to 5%, I did start to feel more insecure again. There is something about having this thing that just makes you feel you've got that little bit extra. But of course, that does involve a cost. Now, check out the link in the description below the video, because you'll then get all the details of exactly how much this thing costs. I'm not going to tell you out loud, for the simple reason that these things often change in a weekly basis. So I think the best thing is to click on the link. But what I can promise you is that there is a 20% off special offer in the description. And I think that's good for around the next month. So check that out. But let's take it now to Elton and let's show you how it fits. And I don't just mean fits in terms of space, I mean fits in terms of styling, because if you look at the colour of the CITROEN AMI and the texture, and then you come in close, Mr. Boo, and look at the texture of this, it's very, very similar. It's almost a sort of, it's a very similar colour, it's a very similar finish. It's, to me, it is, in terms of styling, the best portable power station I've come across in terms of how it actually looks. It looks like it was made for the job. Let's see how it fits. So, I'll show you how I can lift it. You can carry it with one arm. You can carry it with two. You can put it on a wheelbarrow, but you really don't need to. But let's get to the passenger side and see just how much room it takes up. So here we are. We just move our little Decathlon bag that we have hung there. Very good tip for your Decathlon. We get all our bags for the car from Decathlon. They seem to fit. But here is the said passenger compartment. Now, we have yet to have found a portable power station that fits completely in here. But here we go. The moment of truth. Slide, 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 slide. It does fit perfectly in. Now you can see here I have a bit of industrial blue tack on the floor which has got flattened, because the only thing that does happen occasionally is if you going up a steep hill and you pull away quick, it can slide. So what I intend to do is manufacture something that sticks on here that just holds it in. But you can see it fits. Now I dare bet if you were to really spend money, you could probably fit two, don't you think? One on top of another. And again, you'd have to secure them. But that really does fit in the car. You can get your feet in, it doesn't get in the way, you can still put stuff on top of it. And when you need it, you just simply pull it out, pull the cable out and plug it in. And away you go. So that is the AllPowers S2000, which is I think a 1500 watt-hour portable power station that fits in the Citroen Ami. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, please give us a comment, check out the link in the description below. We'll see you on the next one, and remember folks, stay charged.